Mukesh Ambani and Gautam Adani are pouring billions into a heavy infrastructure race, rapidly constructing gigawatt-scale data centers across the country. When you stream a live cricket match, your phone does more than access a signal. It triggers a physical process in a specific location. Every digital request routes to a facility like this, a climate-controlled warehouse where thousands of high-power machines run 24 hours a day to process and deliver your data. Every WhatsApp message, every search query, and every UPI payment relies on this hardware. The digital economy is anchored to real-world resources: concrete, electricity, and steel. This physical footprint is expanding. The surge in artificial intelligence and complex large language models is creating a volume of data that the world is currently struggling to house. Generating a single 100-word AI response consumes 0.14 kilowatt-hours of electricity, enough to power 14 LED bulbs for an hour. To keep that server from overheating, the system also evaporates half a liter of fresh water. Multiply that half liter by the millions of daily requests, and the micro cost becomes a heavy drain on local power grids and municipal water supplies. We have already seen the consequences in Georgia, USA, where a cluster of hyperscale centers caused local droughts, noise pollution, and the contamination of the community's water supply. Now, these exact types of facilities are being planned for cities like Delhi, Chennai, and Bengaluru, regions already struggling with severe, perennial water shortages. Adding high-consumption server farms to these thirsty cities creates a direct conflict between digital growth and basic survival. We have to look at why the government views this trade-off as necessary. This chart highlights a critical vulnerability. India generates 20% of the world's data, but has the capacity to store only 3% of it domestically. This deficit means the vast majority of Indian data is physically held in foreign countries, placing the nation's digital sovereignty in the hands of other governments. History shows that this is a tangible risk. Mass surveillance programs revealed that foreign governments actively monitor the data stored within their borders. Through laws like the U.S. Patriot Act, foreign nations can legally extract and analyze Indian data hosted on their servers for their own intelligence purposes. If India's banking, defense, and identity systems remain on foreign servers, a hostile nation could legally spy on the population, or even disable the country's entire digital infrastructure during a conflict. To counter this, the Reserve Bank of India now mandates that all critical financial data must be stored exclusively on Indian soil. Closing this storage gap by the end of the decade requires an extensive, nationwide build-out of new hyperscale server farms. By 2030, India's data centers will consume 57 terawatt-hours of power, nearly triple the electricity used by the entire Indian railways network. Generating this power and cooling these servers requires pulling millions of gallons of water from an already depleted national reserve. India is trapped. To protect its national security, it must build this infrastructure, but doing so threatens to drain the very cities it is trying to protect. Since building these centers is a requirement for security, the solution must lie in how the government regulates their construction. Policy must move faster than the construction crews, banning these facilities from regions currently facing civilian water stress. Operational mandates should force companies to utilize 100% recycled water for cooling, ensuring that the digital economy does not compete with the population for drinking water. Sustainable placement can neutralize the environmental threat, turning a reckless real estate grab into a strategic national asset. This energy and water crisis is creating a unique market pressure. Because the traditional grid cannot support this surge, it is triggering the largest shift toward domestic green technology in a generation. Government-backed renewable projects are accelerating because these server farms require a dedicated, sustainable power source that the current coal-heavy grid simply cannot provide. This creates an opening for secondary industries, specifically in water efficiency, liquid cooling for servers, and renewable energy franchising, which are now essential for the country to function. Securing India's digital future depends on the engineers and entrepreneurs who can solve this resource contradiction, protecting the nation's data without depleting its survival.